Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am behind schedule today. Watched my Auburn Tigers last night lose to Kentucky. Only scored 3 in the entire game at home. Pitiful. Imagine that coach is going to be fired. So the market's kind of flat today, kind of boring. This isn't boring. Fed Governor Christopher Waller calls for Federal Reserve to cut interest rates again in December. And then this made me laugh so much. This is with Robert Breedlove, who's the ultimate Bitcoin maxi. He calls us XRP people retards and all this. The look on his face as this guy explains to him how Wall Street has co-opted Bitcoin is literally priceless.
I think, Bitcoin and self-custody is the thing, and anybody that is a core developer or part of core and also pushing a Bitcoin treasury company, I'm skeptical of. I'm not making an accusation because it's not even about character. You could be forced into an Epstein, a BlackRock, a Blockstream, an AXA, like a Cantor Fitzgerald. This is the mafia you're getting into bed with. Jack Mallers, you are in bed with the mafia. Like, you are in bed with mafia players. Charlie Kirk tried to exit the mafia. You don't exit the mafia once you're in bed with the mafia. And this is the mafia, the Cantor Fitzgeralds, the Proof of Weapons Network. So once you're there, you're there. So would it surprise me if BlackRock wanted to get as much Bitcoin in ETFs, become shareholders in as many Bitcoin treasury companies, fund as much of the developers and compromise as many of the developers as possible, take as many mining companies public and become the main shareholder in those public Bitcoin mining companies. The biggest threat to Bitcoin right now is the US, because the Proof of Weapons Network is hosted in the US, and the US is getting more mining, more public companies, more ETFs, more treasury companies, and they have developers. That is a big concern for me. And so if somebody is going to create a competing implementation whereby approximately 20% of node operators are running an alternative implementation, I encourage that because I think we might need it one day.
Those guys just looked stunned. Look at this from Gemini. Next week's looking real XRP coded. I wonder if they've got some other announcement that's coming out. Altcoins remain deeply undervalued this cycle. A cycle won't end without having retailers enter the market. If history repeats, we're about to witness the biggest euphoria for altcoins soon. My history in this space tells me that November and December are always very interesting, folks. And then there's this.
I am Jack has shared this good chart here. He says, to me, this is pretty much the same cycle psychology-wise, looking back at the previous cycle. So that's on the bottom here. You had an initial mini bull season, followed by long, drawn-out, exhausting semi-bear with hope for recovery for a comeback, all just before the black swan COVID tariffs to kill all dreams, just like we have with the 1010 crash. Full V-shaped recovery, not followed by the broader market. Current low volume reaccumulation where everyone loses hope. It's also twice as long time-wise as it was in the past, which makes it even worse for people. But I don't have any reason to think we're at any different stage. The only way is to not lose focus. Yes, life will always test you out the fullest. The moment you start to get closer to your breakthrough, universe is testing your conviction, the test before success, and most of the people around will only make it tougher, planting the seed of doubt in you. Preach it, brother. The life is asking you, do you really want it? And then it comes. So if you feel pressed, challenged, even broke, it is the beginning, not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Good word.
I can tell you this. Anytime we have these long periods where the market pulls back and all that. Those are the ones where I accumulate because I know how this story ends when this thing really goes off. I mean, it's happened every single time. Now, this is Goldman Sachs right here, folks.
No. Our institutional client base is certainly positioned for a year-end rally, or in trading speak, a blow-off top, which effectively means that a lot of people are warming up to the idea that we might have this parabolic move higher over the next couple of months. The one thing that I would note about year-end positioning is that our institutional clients are very, very grossed up in terms of risk. And so effectively what that means is if you take the absolute value of clients' longs positions plus the absolute value of their short position, that number is at a 5-year high. Our clients love AI and they love derivatives of AI. So think semiconductors, think AI power companies. But as they continue to buy these companies, as they break out to all-time highs, they're selling other sectors against it. That's why the net positioning is only maybe a 7 out of 10. The sectors they're selling a lot are energy, healthcare, and anything related to the consumer or the economy. Think retailers, think restaurants. And so effectively you have this setup where everyone thinks the market's going to go higher, but I think the real pain trade for a lot of our clients is that if the market goes higher, but it's not led by AI in the AI complex, rather if it's led by other sectors of the market.
Like crypto, blow off top, that sounds good to me. I wanted to show you this. This is Tom Lee talking about the Bitcoin cycle.
And what about the 4-year cycle? Do you think that holds, or do you think that was something that was broken by the institutional participation in the ETFs?
Well, most of the crypto people I speak to expect a 4-year cycle. Mm-hmm. And they're adamant, that maybe Bitcoin peaks early next year. But as you know, when something is so strongly held, it's very unlikely to be true. So either Bitcoin's already peaked or we have a longer cycle. I'm more in the camp that it's a longer cycle.
But there would still be 50+% drawdowns in the future, or there's a kind of cycle is broken and you get something different?
I'm sure there'll be 50% drawdowns. Because
what does that do to Michael Saylor's business plan?
The stock market has more frequent 25% drawdowns. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's when, even though people realize, the stock market's made a lot of progress last 6 years. Mm-hmm. We've had an unusually large number of 25% drawdowns. Mm-hmm. And we probably have another S&P decline of 20% next year. So if the S&P is down 20, Bitcoin could be down 40.
Okay. And then this is crazy talk right here. This guy's saying it doesn't matter if the 3-letter agency created Bitcoin, and I said a decade-long, probably the biggest financial lie in history, doesn't matter.
Bitcoin may, I have no idea, may have been created by the United States government. But go around and look at any technology, internet, phone, satellite.
If it may have been created by the U.S. government, it may have been created by North Korea, or it may have been created by China or Russia. That doesn't matter?
Whatever, every technology that has eventually either decentralized or been used for good was created by a government. Even if it was true, which it's not, why does that matter? It's fully decentralized.
What should matter is why were you lied to about it? If you're lied to about something for over a decade, I think that matters.
Clearly nobody controls it. The beauty of Bitcoin is completely transparent. You see the addresses, you see the nodes, you see the miners, you know where the blocks are being mined. It's not the CIA.
You can see them on you can see that on XRP, but you know exactly it's been completely transparent. Part of the reason I'm here. Now, this is cool. This is the Executive Vice President of North American Markets for the NASDAQ. 2 great clips here.
I feel like everybody talks about blockchain as this killer app. Digital assets are really going to come in and change the narrative. And I'm curious if you see it that way. Would you call this a true inflection point here with what we're seeing with blockchain technology and what it's doing to the capital markets?
Absolutely. Definitely an inflection point. This is the moment. We've seen this just prior to the crypto winter. People started to get interested. And then when the crypto winter happened, it was like, oh, see, I told you. And I loved what Emily said from Coinbase. It was an opportunity to build what she heard from Brian Armstrong. And I thought that was really important because I love thinking like that. Having been in the market markets for so long, like recessions and things like that are when you take advantage and build. So we've been through a lot. We meaning the crypto digital asset evolution. And this is clearly the moment that we're going to take it to another level. And I do think this is why NASDAQ's investing in it. We've been in it for a long time on the surveillance side, but now we're just ramping it up even more and trying to really bridge that gap between U.S. equities and the digital assets class.
Uh-oh, NASDAQ's telling you. Here he is again. This is a different clip.
I will tell you, the most important thing for me is extended hours. We're open for 16 hours a day today. And for years, no one kind of really noticed. You notice on earnings day, like after 4 o'clock, you'll see something trade till about 5, and then a little bit, in the morning, but that's changed. Again, another inflection point, and we need to be open 24. So the first step, and we announced this a while back, is that we want to get to 23.5, 23.6, depending on what days you want to count. But Sunday evening until Friday afternoon. And then once we get to that 23.6, I think we'll get to 24/7 pretty quickly, because if you really want to compete in that digital asset space, you need to be open 24/7. But again, it goes back to sort of, I won't even say crawling. This is like jogging before we run, right? So we want to start jogging. We've been walking for quite some time at 20 hours a day.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead to DAIXRP.com. That's the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these YouTube videos, or you can join through X by hitting subscribe. Today, we're going to talk about the XRP math, and I'm going to tell a story. I can't remember if I ever told it, but it's a story about XRP price and about people, about modeling that's going on, stuff like that. At the top, I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.